Race underway. Ethan Simeone's Porsche will be one to watch as now then from pole position Milan Doncia, brother of GT3 racer Indy Doncia, comes up towards the line on pole position. The pace car as it is peels in. It's up to the drivers now to control the pace but also to hold station because they need to stay one behind the other, and that's not what happens, look, because already people dive out from the side. That's a very untidy start. Some accelerate away long before they get to the line. The race gets underway now, but there may be an investigation or two after that as the cars blast down towards the first corner, and from pole position Milan Doncia looks like he's been well and truly mugged on the way down towards turn one. On the outside line, Finlay Hutchison in the McLaren tax. Can he go all the way around the outside? No, he can't. So it is going to be Fabio Michel for Santalot that leads the way. Hutchison is second, and third is the poleman Milan Doncia, and Gosaya Radet in the yellow Audi has dropped a long way back. Yes,
I think the McLaren really has benefited from that 25 kilogram weight benefit, and the Audi, having carried the additional 40 kilograms, has suffered. So a good start from the McLaren from the second row of the grid. Almost made it through to the lead going into turn one. Thought the wiser of it, backed out of it, but no contact as one of the Alpines has turned around on the entry into turn four. That was a contact that came on the right rear of this second quickest part of the racetrack, but is good under brakes. And now further contact.
Good effort by Konstantin Schürl. This real opportunistic driving, and it's worked. He's ahead coming out of turn 14, but the little turbo engine versus the grunt and go of the Maserati that's just gained 2 places, and the Mercedes. Antoni Hodson gets past Policon, gets past the KTM. Here comes Jerome Policon to fight back. So the KTM 1 up and 2 down, but the real winner out of all of that in the Maserati is Antoni Hodson. He's into the top 10. Jerome Policon back up into 11th, and he's still fighting. This is a great advert for the circuit as well as for GT4, because you can see the way that some cars work in certain bits, others work where the power kicks in, and Policon gets forced off the road here.
He didn't get the pass. If he had done, he may have had to give it back up again, because he would have made it by using parts of the racetrack which are not designated racetrack. Again, the little KTM and the Ginetta now side by side, and spins the KTM. I think might have got spun round. There may have been contact with the Ginetta. Can't really see what was still there, still running, but it certainly was very tight between those 4 cars in the back of this little group. The Maserati, as you say, David, just certainly was hovering around and was watching what was going on. Now Mercedes and Policon dive down the inside into turn 8. The undercut from the Maserati's got a big grunty V8 engine in that, but again on the outside coming through turn 9, but managed just to drag ahead of the Mercedes. Policon thinks about going down the inside into turn 10, but not close enough. Wow, good motor racing.
There's a nudge from the Mercedes against the Maserati there, I think, when Policon did close up. It was a bit late. He got into the back of the Maserati. We saw the Maserati weave a little bit, and Jerome Policon is being given a warning about driving standards. So Jerome Policon, with all that experience, is under observation from the race officials here. So he's on the back of Antoni Hodson trying to retake the place. He's got the pesky Ginetta behind him, then that rather impudent KTM also trying to regain the ground lost in the last lap or so. It was here, remember, that Konstantin Schürl dive-bombed the Mercedes, and then he lost places where the power kicked in against the KTM. But look at the Ginetta right round the outside, way off the road. Peter Larson nearly in the desert. He's back on the circuit, and he's going to have a go on the outside line, and he's gone through.
Yes, he's gone through, but he went so far off the racetrack. The question is, when you abuse track limits to that degree, do you actually gain or in fact lose time overall in the lap? But it's the straight line performance of the Mercedes yet again. Is he going to come into the pits? I think
there down the pit lane, Antoni Hodson to give way to brother Piotr in that symphonic sounding Maserati of the Polish Maserati owning family, Maserati dealer. And then behind the pair of them is another of the BMWs battling along, which is the 3Y technology car of Dan Wells, the British driver based in Hong Kong these days. Oh, way sideways.
And loads of rubber.
Yeah.
That was, just at this point in the race is probably not relevant because only 6 minutes remaining, but you can just see how easy it is to break traction. In this phase, and just lay down a load of more rubber, and that's just going to take a little bit less.
As I say, 12th overall again in the AM Cup, that'll be ahead of the Dan Wells BMW that he shares with Philippe Kadori, the Hong Kong enthusiast, and the Hodsons, Antoni and Piotr, next in 14th in the Maserati. Belts are tight, ready to go racing as they come off turn 14, ready for the start of race 2, qualifying race 2 for the GT4 International Cup here in Bahrain. Stephen Paulette alongside Greg Gilbert at the front of the grid. The second row is Nikolai Molomadsen and Enzo Guibert. The lights are red. When the lights change, we will get underway for 60 minutes of GT4 racing, and it's going. A great start made from the third row by the Alpine of Antoine Leclerc. Good start by Enzo Guibert in the BMW as well on the outside of row 2. The Audis are side by side, but at the front of the grid you give a monster toe to everybody else on the run down towards the first corner. They're 3, 4, 5 wide, and who's going to be the real hero? It looks like Matt Nicol-Jones has made a demon start in the McLaren up into second place as they wriggle their way through. Whoops, I'm afraid the Niki Leutwiler Porsche bounces off the BMW of Brett Strum there, and there's damage to both.
And there's a load of debris in the middle of the exit of turn 1, so that's got to be cleared away. Corner workers might be able to get that done without having to revert to a localised yellow flag, but McLaren battling with the Mercedes. Go, and round goes the Alpine. It's been tagged. This is the second time in 2 races that car's been. Is that the same car, the 36 or the 22?
It's the same car, had a spin exactly there in the first race. So Antoine Leclerc this time tagged into it. David Touchemont was turned around in the same car at the same time.
And you think, oh my goodness, I mean, how big is this?
That's another of the Mercedes. Number 72 is in the hands of Erik Behrens, a regular in the Swedish GT Championship. And this is the AM class lead battle because Piotr Hodgson is ahead of him in the Maserati. But the lead of the class is about to change, I fear. That Maserati does look a big car.
It looked clumsy coming through turn 6s and 7s, and the Mercedes, a much neater package, a much more contemporary package than the Maserati. What the Maserati has got is a horse of an engine, and it's got a load of torque and a load of top-end power. And it just, you can see an acceleration. There's nothing the Mercedes could do to even match it, but only under braking and under road holding and cornering can it get close.
So the two of them nose to tail as they come through turn 10 then. The Mercedes right on the back of the Maserati, but no, in the straight line again, so the Maserati just pulls away a little bit further. Erik Behrens getting a bit frustrated here because he knows that at certain parts he's got the advantage, under braking being one of them, through the twiddly bits being another.
Wonder some of the problems Andy America's having. He's just got to notice that he must respect track limits, which might confirm what I was suspecting is that the grip in that bullet racing Mercedes-Benz is just going away, and that's why he's running very wide on some of the track areas, some of the exits of the corners.
Could well be, could well be. So the pit window to come in a couple of minutes' time. Way wide goes Erik Behrens with his Mercedes. 95 seconds in is Lisette Brahms to give way to Luke in Piotr Hodgson in the Maserati pitting. That's the lead battle for the AM class on the track, and 2 new leaders because Erik Behrens has the lead and then he loses the lead to Johan Rosen.
The Alpine, very good pit stop, literally 1 second over the 95-second minimum amount of time, so that's why we saw it being held. So the team have turned that car around as quickly as they certainly can do, and let's see whether the 36 Alpine can make any further progress.
In the remaining 32 minutes of the race, it's a slightly phony gap in as much as you cross the timing line in the pit, so he's already going slower, isn't he? So the gap widens while he's going slower. So in real terms, it might be a little bit less than that, but I still think they could win this race because they're going up against, in the Pro-Am cars, the slower driver in the second stint, which you'll see. Now there is Peter Larson, fresh into the Ginetta, battling with Antoni Hodgson. This is for AM honours, don't forget. We saw the battle in the first stint, it's happening again, and now Antoni Hodgson, who's the quicker of the 2 brothers, trying to fend off number 51 Ginetta, Peter Larson, the redoubtable shape of Peter, having replaced in the car Johan Rosen.
Well, the little Ginetta being just unable to match the grunt from the Maserati at a turn.
Then in the second stint, more and more happened.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love, I call it the underdog or whatever. Yeah. I just love those scenarios where you see the big, powerful, the Mercedes, which is maybe to some degree the class of the field.
And there is the AM battle being resolved, and Antoni and Piotr Hodgson win from Peter Larson and Johan Rosen by 0.226 of a second. So just like in race 1, even though it's a different winner, the AM Cup very competitive again.
I mean, look, you can't get any closer than that. I mean, great battles all the way through between the different categories.